Brow power tip of the day. I feel like I should be like my 2-year-old. She walks around saying superpower. Maybe she'll go brow power. Your brows are probably one of the most important makeup aspects for having just a beautiful, complete look. And when people miss their brows, it always looks like something's missing. I have to say, I get asked by so many of you when it comes to makeup, how do I do my brows and how do I make them look natural or fill them in and kind of correct what has been done in the past? So many people have either had over tweezing, over waxing, or even if you've had a health condition, you can have where your brows have fallen out, thinned out, and you're missing brows. Are powerful when it comes to makeup and completely transforming your look. I have no makeup on my brows and you can see what they look like without them. I do have a few thin spots as we get kind of in through here, and even this brow does not quite extend all the way out to where it should. So the first thing I want to do is show you how to gauge where your brows should begin, end, and where your arch should be. The tool I'm going to be using today is a brow pencil, and I will do one brow with a brow pencil to fill it in and shape it, and the other one I will show you how to use powder. Gives two different looks, no right or wrong. Find what works for you. And if you are newer to filling in your brows and trying to give them shape, start with a powder where you're gonna have a softer, lighter touch. It's gonna help fill them in, but you don't have to worry about having these overly drawn in, exaggerated, like Groucho Marx brows with a pencil where you, there's a little bit of a learning curve to kind of get the technique down. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil, and it's universal in color. So whether you've got naturally blonde or a brown eyebrow, it will work for you, and it's all about technique and pressure. So the harder you press with the pencil, the darker, deeper color you'll get. Use a very light hand to keep it lighter if you have blonde or like a sandy blonde hair. The nice thing is also it's neutral, so it's not going to be too golden, where if you have a naturally ashy base to your hair, you don't have to worry about having like these orangey red brows. So find something neutral. And so I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to measure to get to how far in your brows should go. We're going to line up the edge of your nose to the inside of your eye and kind of point up. And this is exactly where we want to touch. So I'm just going to I made a little line. I'm going to get in closer to see. Made a little line, and this top corner on my brow actually goes in a little too far. So I'm just going to kind of even that line out. And the next step I'm going to do is take the outside, the edge of my nose through my pupil, and right there is where my arch should be. So I'm just going to make just a light little kind of dot so I can see. And then the outer corner is going to go from the outside of your nose, outside corner of your eye, and right there is where we want to go. So you can see on mine, I'm missing hair. And that could be from over tweezing. It could be just naturally as we age, our hair thins and kind of slows in growth, so it could be from that. Also, I have a thyroid condition, and that can affect hair growth. You lose hair, and I had so many times in the salon where clients would say not only is their hair falling out, but they noticed their eyebrows were thinning and they were wondering what was going on. And a lot of times it can be something due to your health. For me, a thyroid issue. Not saying you have a thyroid issue if that was the case for you. If you're going, oh my gosh, my brows are totally thinning, does that mean I have a thyroid issue? It doesn't mean you do, but our body indicates on the outside what's going on the inside a lot. So for me and for clients, that's been kind of a precursor and a warning of what was happening. So, but it could be from over tweezing, who knows? So now I've got my marks, and I'm just gonna use really light pressure and kind of fill in, and I do have thin spots as you get right into this area. So I'm just lightly, very lightly filling in. I'm gonna kind of shape and solidify the top of my brow, meeting up at the arch, just lightly filling in. And then I'm gonna start to fill in. See, I'm even really thin and bare right here. So just kind of fill that in. Now, if you wanted a bolder, dark, full brow, then use a little bit heavier. I'm gonna smooth that away. That's my point. Then go a deeper, darker, heavier line to really fill that in. It's all personal preference. Some people love a dark, full, bold brow, so it really draws attention in, and other people feel a little uncomfortable. And if you've got lighter hair, you may feel like, oh, it's too much contrast between a dark brow and light hair. So it's your personal preference of what you like. But the great thing about filling your brows in is that it really frames in your eyes and brings attention to your gorgeous eyes, which, hello, they're the window to the soul. So why don't you want them to look good? So now I'm gonna flip over. I just finished using the pencil. Flip over, and it's got a spoolie right there, all convenient, one little pencil unit. But flip it over, and I'm just going to brush the brows, taking the hair, kind of following their natural growth pattern, and blending the lines in. And when I was filling in with a pencil, you want to use soft, kind of short strokes to mimic natural hairs, so that you're going in and you know, it's not one dark solid line that really looks fake and drawn in. You want it to look as natural and soft as possible. So right there, kind of just fill that. And there you go. So that brow's filled in. So another thing I like to do to really define the brow is to take a light, neutral kind of skin tone shadow. So I have my, let's see. So here is my It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, and I will take the lightest color, which is Sheer Joy, and I'll go in and just really lightly kind of define that and clean up underneath. And that is just gonna clean the line up and help to give me a more prominent brow bone. So when you're using a lighter color that's gonna highlight, it's gonna draw out. So I don't have, you know, some people have a very strong brow bone. I don't. So that powder kind of helps to give more definition between my eyelid by highlighting it a little bit. And again, I'm not using a shimmery tone where it's gonna have a very dated look. I'm using just a flat matte color to fill that in. So with the other eye, with my other eye, I'm going to use a powder, and a powder again is a very soft look. It's going to be more blended, where when you're using the pencil, you're getting kind of soft strokes mimicking hair. With powder and using a brush to apply it, you're not going to be able to get those tiny short strokes that you do with the pencil. So you're going to have a more filled in look, but it's also going to be softer. So I am going to use, I've got a brush through It Cosmetics, doesn't have to be, but you guys know I love It Cosmetics, and I've got on one end the flat angled liner brush, and then the spoolie on the opposite end. And when I'm using a powder, you want to pick something, again, that is neutral to ash, so as you're filling it in, you're not going to have these golden, brassy, really red looking brows, unless you've got red or strawberry blonde or a very golden hair color that you want to kind of marry and intermingle with the same family tone. But for most people, we tend to have an ashier natural base of hair, so using a natural ashy tone to your brows is what's going to look the most natural and the most complementary. The color I'm going to use with my It Cosmetics is right here. It's called Mocha, and I don't know if the lighting you can really tell, but sometimes colors come across differently on camera, but it is almost a grayish kind of taupey light tan, so it's perfect, not going to give me too much of that golden hue when I'm filling in my brows. So I'm just going to kind of fill in, I'm thinner right here on the corner, just filling that in, brushing the powder in, not overloading my brush with powder, but just kind of lightly tapping it and then filling in, cleaning up that line. Just following the natural shape of my brows. So if your brows have been overly tweezed, you may want to try using a pencil so you can create, like I did right here, the idea and illusion of hair. A powder is not, it's probably going to be too light and not going to give you the look that you want. So just to double check, I've got corner of the nose, corner of the eye, my arch is right here, and then there is my outside of my eyebrow. So that is where your eyebrow should fall in. So like this one fell too short, so I used a pencil to kind of fill it in. So that way I'm, you know, really helping to draw my eyes out, give a finished, a more framed in appearance, give a lifted look to my eyebrows. Whereas if your brows are falling too short or you know, not meeting the outer corner of your eye, or on the insides, if they're starting too far out, you're gonna make your eyes look either too wide set or too, if your brows are coming in too close together, you're gonna make your eyes appear very narrow. So if you want it to look proportional to your face and where you have a soft, natural look, then follow that guideline to set them. Another trick that I absolutely love is you can take your spoolie, and if you don't have an eyebrow gel that you use, spray a teeny bit of hairspray on and use it to kind of comb your brows and the hairs into place. So that way as you go throughout your day, if your brows, if you have a longer, thicker, bushier eyebrow and you feel like you end up disheveled, because for me, my hair even does it, my hair will fall and kind of ruffle my eyebrows up to where I've got like a hair sticking out, use a gel or a hairspray and smooth it into place, and it works so fantastically. It's super easy. You don't need, you know, to buy another product just to use a spoolie. You can even buy disposable ones very inexpensively from Sally's and spray a little hairspray on and comb it into place. Brows are really quick and easy, and it's one thing to do on your makeup regardless of if you're going for you know, a very full glam look or just a very natural look. Filling in your brows makes the biggest difference in completing the look and drawing attention to your gorgeous eyes. So there is your brow power tip of the day. I hope you guys loved it. If you've got questions or any comments you want to share, please post them below, and please, please, please feel free to share this to your Facebook wall or whatever social media is your favorite. And don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys later.